Hey, do you want to know 3 unexpected secrets on how to start attracting available men? Hey, I'm Antia Boyd, creator of the Magnetize The Man Method, and let's go ahead and dive right in. So first off, ask yourself, where are you deceiving yourself? Truth bomb! Okay, you're like, wait, what are you talking about, Antia? Now, think about it this way, right? If you're deceiving yourself, right, you're controlling the perception that other people have of you, right? That means you're not available, right? Because if you're deceiving yourself as being, overly unavailable, meaning you're being invited to parties all the time, you're busy all the time, right? Then guess what? People have in the forefront of their mind, you are not available, right? And also, of course, the men feel too this kind of sense of urgency that you're busy all the time, that the energy is going left and right and up and down. So they also think like you're not available. So if you want to attract an emotionally available man, it's stop self-deception, right? And really ask yourself, I'm not who I perceive myself to be, right? Not ask yourself that, but tell yourself that, right? I'm not who I perceive myself to be, which leads me to tip number 2, which is about stop controlling perceptions that people have of you, right? So again, this leads a little bit back into the self-deception, because oftentimes we don't want to be perceived as, and then you fill in the blank, right? As arrogant. We don't want to be perceived as selfish. We don't want to be perceived as clingy, as needy, as boring, right? So you fill in the blank what it is for you. So in order to avoid that you're perceived like that, you're attempting to control the perception that other people have of you, right? That you're actually interesting and that you're fascinating and that you always have things going on and that you're so humble and that you're so generous, right? And so on and so forth, right? But actually, it disconnects you more from yourself, right? Because you're actually the opposite of that. And so people actually get mixed emotions from you, because on the one hand, they get kind of this sense that you're like, you could be selfish or you could be arrogant, and they might even like it. They might even think, wow, she has a lot of self-confidence, right? Or you might be more calm and more introverted inside of yourself, which you might judge yourself as being boring, right? But then on the other hand, they see this other part and like, wait, I'm confused. And I don't know if you know that, but the confused mind says no, right? So that's why it's important to actually stick to who you are, right? And tip number 3, that's really unexpected, is really connecting to the emotions that you don't want to feel, right? So you might say, well, Antia, I don't really need to feel anger. It's not really serving me. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? And I just, I'm too intelligent for that, right? It's not really economic, so to say, right? To have emotions, which, by the way, that's what I was trained as by my dad, right? Like, emotions are not really helpful. Control your emotions, right? And I'm sure you are growing up like that as well if you're watching this video, right? So what that means is no, instead, it's like, yes, lean into the anger, be unreasonable, right? Go against reason, because you actually want to attract something that's also unreasonable, right? Because if you've been single for a while and you think linear, you think sequential, right? And you think like, well, first I need to have a boyfriend, and then, if I look at my mom, she never attracted the right man, and my grandma never attracted the right man. So then therefore, I probably also don't attract the right man. Or my girlfriends are not in relationships, they don't have happy marriages, so then why should I, right? So that's an example of a linear thinking. But when you actually connect with all of who you are, what happens is you attract a man into your life who also is connected to all of his emotions, and he's fully embodied, and he's in full integrity and congruency with that, right? And then of course, then you have this beautiful interdependence that you create together, and you have this available man that you're looking and really, really yearning to have in your life. So those are my 3 tips I have for you today. And if you think, gosh, Antia, I don't know exactly how to do that. I definitely don't know how to call myself out of my own self-deception, right? We have the self-reporting bias, we call it in psychology. Then I invite you to come on a Magnetize the Man clarity call with me, where we get crystal clear, like, number 1, how are you lying to yourself? How are you deceiving yourself, right? Where are you deleting? Where are you distorting reality? So you have this self-perception that you have of yourself, which, by the way, is extremely limited, right? Play out in your life over and over again, right? So if that's you, I invite you to hop on magnetizetheman.com, magnetizetheman.com, and grab your slot. Let's hop on the phone and let's really get to the bottom of this. Until then, hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you very soon. And don't forget, dreams do come true. Take care. Much love. Mwah!